All right, here we are for the month in review for July. And here you can see my calendar. So, one sentence that I could sum up the month of July is me solidifying the growth and the effort that I put in thus far. And just a quick preview, June was a really rocky month. So, June was a really rocky month. May, I did quit my job at the end of the month to start doing trading full time. And then I did start sizing up at the end of May into June. So there's a lot of changes happening at once, which kind of contributed to a big confusion, a lot of fear, a lot of doubts, a lot of me battling my inner demons and whatnot and fears. And so this really kind of showed itself in June. Had a lot of red days, very inconsistent. Did still come out on top with a decent monthly profit, probably due to this week. But yeah, now in July, I didn't size up more in July than I did in June. They're at roughly the same share size. However, I was a lot more consistent in July, and I felt a completely different style or a different experience of me trading, and I just felt more comfortable and more confident in July with this new level of share size, and also me just being more, getting more comfortable with me having trading as my full-time income right now. And it took me a couple weeks to get to this, level of comfort, but it's starting to show itself with this amount of consistency and this amount of green. Here you can see in July, I had a lot of small green days, but I was okay with it. I was satisfied with not having a red day. Even if I could have small green, $19, $91. A lot of these days were slow, and at the end of the day, if I saw only $55 in profit, I can't be like. There's been times where I'd be like, oh, this is it. This is only $50. I have to make more than that, and then I'll go back into trading, and I would try to size up more in a market that's not really hot, and I would end up with a massive red day, and that's happened so many times. So this time, sticking to my rules, staying disciplined, and this is probably also due to my me now relying on this as my full-time income. Just I have to follow my rules. I can't be treating this like irresponsibly and not following my rules and not staying disciplined. So I'm happy to take small gains off the table to remain consistent instead of trying to hit a home run if the market is not providing that type of opportunity. So here you can see, a lot of small green days as well. But then we also had a nice, consistently every like $200, $300. I had a $487 day, so very consistent. And then here you could see on the month, I'm up $3,262. So this is actually about a 65% increase of my previous best month. So that is very, very happy with that. And my win-loss expectation, very, very consistent. This is very, very satisfying to see this. And my biggest drawdown has only been $110. So keeping my losses small. The red days that I do have, they're very, very small. And I'm keeping my losses also to a minimum. My losses versus my wins are less than about 50%. So I'm keeping about 50% of everything that I make, which isn't bad. I mean, I've seen worse. This is definitely something that is contributing to a really good profit on the month. Even if you make 10,000 in the month, but if you can't keep any of it, it doesn't really matter. So for me to only make seven grand, but only give back half, isn't really too bad with the style of trading that I do, which is a lot of scalping. My win loss here is about 1-to-1, which is I guess ideally I want this at least exactly 1-to-1 or more, but it's a little less than 1-to-1. So It's something to improve on a little bit. And my accuracy, though, my accuracy is pretty good. And because I have a 66, almost a 67% accuracy, my profit factor is a 1.84, which is pretty good uh, compared to my previous months. Usually I was down to like 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. So to have a 1.84 is definitely showing some good signs that I'm starting to get more comfortable and more confident and managing my risk very, very well. And so yeah, my average daily volume 42,000. So let's see just curious. I'm going to see my average daily volume in June. I think it might have actually been more. Yeah, so 45,000 in June. So roughly the same. I didn't size up at all more in July than I did in June. Partly because I did have that rough. I did have a really rough June, so I don't think it was called for me to size up. If I were to size up when I'm not ready, it would fall flat on my face. So I now I feel I'm ready for that next level, and moving on up into share size. And I already had this all planned out. I did do a lot of contemplation and thinking about how I'm going to size up, kind of I need to give myself some sort of rough guidelines. And so before I would have about a $500 to $700 starter size pre-market, or around $500 starter size pre-market. And pre-market, I always do half the position size that I do at the open. Pre-market, I don't know what it is, but pre-market, I do have a lower profit ratio or profit factor, and I'm very inconsistent here. You could see pre-market, like I'm green some of the time, but then I do have a lot of areas where I'm consistently red. Here, right at between 9 and 9:15, or 9 and 9:30, I'm red. 8:30, I'm red. Here I'm barely green, barely making anything there. And so here, even if I open it up to 3 months pre-market, you could see, I'm red from 7 to 7:30. I'm even red from 7:30 to 8. There's a little red in there. Barely green at 8 to 8:30, and then red again from 9 to 9:30. But if I bring it all together, if I average in, everything from 9:30 all the way to 7 a.m., I'm green overall. I'm small green overall. So really what I've done to kind of adapt to that is, keep trading pre-market, but where was I here? But keep my size small, keep my risk low. And my goal isn't to make all my profit pre-market, just to get a nice little cushion for the open. And you can see, you probably saw, at 9:30, at 9:30 is where I make the bulk of my profit, and at 10. So those are the times where I'm going to be taking the most risk. So here I have my rough guidelines for share size pre-market. So my goal is to have around, for pre-market now, is around $1,000 position size increments. So if I add to a position, I'd be adding $1,000, $1,000, $1,000. And then also be, if I'm scaling out, I'm taking off 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. So it's going to be, if the stock's under $5, I want to shoot for around no less than 500 shares if the stock is under $5. 500 share increments pre-market. If the stock is over $5, I want no less than 250 shares. The stock is over $5 pre-market, 250 share increments. And if it's over $10, I don't want anything less than 100 shares. If I trade anything less than those share amounts pre-market, I'm just going to look at it like that setup, I shouldn't be trading it anyways. It's, if the setup is not good enough to be sizing at least 500 shares under $5, or 250 shares, or 100 shares over $10, then it's not at least looking good enough to at least size in my starter for $1,000 position size, then it's not worth to be trading at all. Usually if I'm trading like very small share size, it's sort of like a boredom trade anyways. So I want to kind of filter that out. And the way I'm doing is by like, I'm not going to be trading anything less than a certain amount of position size. And that's going to help me move up to the next level of sizing. And then at the open, it's always double. I want to be trading double what I was using in pre-market. And so after the open, if the stock is under $5, I want to be doing no less than $1,000 increments if the stock is under $5. If the stock is over $5, I want to be doing no less than 500 share increments. And the stock is over $10, I don't want to do less than 250 share increments. So it's pretty much double than my pre-market. Which will be around 2,500. But I don't want, less than $2,500 position size increments for open. So these are just rough guidelines to kind of for me to follow if I'm not really sure how much to buy of a stock. This is giving me my guideline. I don't want to do anything less than that. However, I will allow myself to take more size. This is not like I'm going to be taking only this share size. If the setup is really good and I'm really in the zone dialed in, I will increase this by a factor or two, and just keep adding more aggressively. But this is just sort of like a rough guideline for me to follow for share size, and I'm kind of curious how this is going to work out. But I do need to stay disciplined and at least follow this, because that's going to help me push me to that next level. It's really hard to get yourself out of your comfort zone, so that's why I have to like kind of create some sort of structured guideline for me to stick to and follow, and to know that I'm making the right moves, even when in the moment it's so easy to just like downsize a little bit, take half a share size off and start doing half of what you normally trade. Just out of just sheer, fear or wanting to be in comfortable position, or because you're used to it. You need to have that discipline to push it and stick to your guns when you're wanting to make a change. And so this is what I'm doing to increase my share size. And I also have another thing that I'm going to change starting this month is I'm going to give it a shot again here. I'm just going to record my screen during my trading session. And before I've tried it, and sometimes my orders will lag. So I'm going to try it again. Maybe try it in a smaller resolution, or I've been fiddling around with it with the OBS system and different recording softwares and services. And I'm going to try to record my screen while I'm trading, not in a live stream. I just want to record the screen. I don't want to record my face or my voice or anything. I don't really need that. I just want to look at the screen just so I can kind of go back at the end of the day and watch a live video of my exact entries, my exact exits, my share size, everything. Because when you're looking at showing your trades on TOS, trying to review your trades on TOS, you kind of get half the story. You don't really get the entire story in real time. You only just see your orders, and you're not really even sure if it was the same trade or if it was a separate trade, or how much you really took off or how much you're holding from minutes before. And so it's kind of a little bit more precise if I'm recording my screen. And I think that's going to help me a lot more to understand how I might be either limiting my profits to the upside, maybe selling too soon, or I might be holding my losers too long. And I want to be able to look at that in real time, and so I can kind of correct that a little bit better. I think it's going to be a lot easier to correct myself if I'm looking at my trades live versus if I'm just reviewing them in Thinkorswim through their software or whatever, or their just show trades. And a lot of the people who are on that next level above me, that are trading bigger size and making double, triple of what I made this month, they're all doing that. They're all recording their screen, and so I'm just gonna give it a shot. You know, that it seems to be working for them, and they've obviously gotten to a level much bigger than I am. So I'm just kind of follow their footsteps and take and kind of do what they're doing. I don't see why I shouldn't give it a shot, because you know, if what's working for them might actually work for me as well. And I have been struggling with reviewing my trades accurately, especially during the recaps, because it's all like the way I trade. It's very quick and scalpy, so it's really hard for me to decipher each trade by each trade. So I think the live trading will be a lot better for me. So that's just something I'm gonna try my best to implement without the software making my orders lag as I'm trying to trade, or any sort of lag. So that's definitely something that I'm going to be doing starting next week. So next week is going to be August is going to be a big month. August is going to be the month where I try to take it to the next level. I'm going to try to take it to the next level. Share size, I'm going to implement screen recording, and these are very good statistics. There's nothing really I can beat myself up about other than maybe this average win, average loss is a little bit negative by a little bit. My accuracy is really good. My profit factor has been the best I've had in months. My largest gain, I don't have the largest gain versus into June, I think. Let's look at June. In June, yeah, my largest gain was 219, but I had a big loss in, in June too. So I guess in July I kind of just was more consistent and less willing to take massive risk, but I was just very consistent with my base hits. So just having a lot of nice base hit winners, and that contributed to the biggest month that I've had year to date. And here we can go through my month. So increasing month over month over month. So here we had another huge jump, similar to what we had here from March to April to May. And man, like it's coming really fast. It's coming faster than I thought. Like I never thought I would be quitting my job this year. I thought I would be like another 2 years down the road. But because like back in 2021, my months were like $200, $300. $300 was my biggest month last year, or 330. Yeah, 337. Like this is how I was trading just a year ago, less than a year ago, which is crazy to think like how much growth can happen in such a short amount of time. Once it starts clicking, you can start sizing up, and just you know it's come so much faster than you thought. Here we can look at the weeks. The weeks are increasing and increasing and increasing, getting more consistent. You know, when I first quit my job, my goal was $500 a week. If I could make $500 a week, I could pay all my bills, and I could have a couple $100 left to spend on extras, for you know, to go out on a date, or to fill up the gas tank to go somewhere and take a day trip or something. And that was my goal, $500 a week. And if I could do that, then I could sustain my life and not have to go to work. And I would be so much happier. I was so much happier making $500 a week versus $1,000 a week at the restaurant. The restaurant I was making, you know, a little over $1,000 a week, which was really, you know, it's great. You know, I had all this extra money I could spend, and you know, didn't really worry at all. But you know, just the amount of time and effort and draining it had on me just wasn't worth it. And so I was so much happier making $500 a week trading, barely getting by, just like getting by like inches, by just a couple $100, just getting by. I was so much more happier doing that than having to go into work. It was like such a relief, just like going to bed every night and be like, wow, I don't have to go to work. And yeah, thank God, you know, I kept at it, kept getting that $500 mark, kept hitting it. A couple of weeks, yeah, I had some struggling weeks. This was in June, but I had that nice week of 1,147 on the week, which is my biggest week. I was actually up 1,400, and then I had a big loss, I think, on that Friday. $385 loss, I think, in June, and that brought me back. But still really good. And then again, another red week in June, and then August here. This was August, right? No, this was the end of June. So small green week in June. So very inconsistent in June, as you can see. Then here's August. August, hit my mark, at least 500. So 631. Perfect. I can pay some bills. Next week, 587. I could pay some more bills. And then here I hit almost 1,000. And now I'm like, all right, this week I already hit my goal, my minimum monthly goal of 2K a month. I can pay all my bills. I have a little bit left over, and everything's cool. This month is cool. I got everything covered this month. I don't have to dip into an emergency savings, so super happy, super stoked, and I still have an entire week left. And I'm like, holy crap, like this could be my biggest month ever. And so the next month I clock in the bigger month than the week before, 1,038. And I'm stoked. I'm stoked. This is like a 66% increase from my previous best month. Pay all my bills. I can make it to the next month, and I have another month to get better at day trading, to get a bigger distance from me and having to get that job again. And I don't see me getting a job again, and I'm literally putting everything into it so I don't have to go back to that previous life that I was living. I just remind myself of all, like, just the stress and the pain and the suffering and the insults and the just from the job. I mean, I was a waiter I'm living in Miami. I was a waiter before I started trading, and it was like, man, like Miami for sure. Like, I've read articles like of statistics that Miami's like the #1 place for most rude people in America, and I didn't, I can definitely verify that for sure. Like, it's just been a lot of very, 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 very bad experiences, and I'm so happy I'm done with that. And so, this month is just another jump up, and it just like feels so good that I don't have to go back. And so, next month we'll see. Next month we had a lot of a lot of extra cash this month. So if I do have a red month, this profit from July could help weather any sort of storms that may come in the future. So not going to be splurging any of all of this cash, but yeah, super happy. I'm really just looking at it from month to month. I'm just trying to get by from month to month, not having to dip into any of my savings. And I think over time, it's just going to, like, my profit on the month is just going to keep growing and growing and growing to where, I'm not going to have to be worried, every month to whether or not I'm going to be able to hit my minimum goal of 2,000 just to get by. And that's been my goal the past 3 months. And it feels good just to sustain my life like this. Because, I'm definitely a lot happier. I have a lot more free time. My mental space is a lot more clear. I'm able to focus on myself, focus on my growth, focus on my trading, focusing on what truly matters in life. I don't have to be doing stuff that I don't want to be doing anymore. And it's just so liberating. Focus on my gym goals, spend a lot more time at the beach. Yeah, it's just, I just really like a lot of leisure. Life just gets so much more rich than what I've had before. And so that's it. So I wanted to share. This is the month in review for July 2022. I am on the right track. Everything is pointed in the right direction. Now it's all about sizing up and sticking to what has been working. Here you could see reports. Here you could see my overall share size on here. So we'll go 90 days. So here you can see consistent growth in share size, and then it just kind of started to flat out, started to have a consolidation after June because I had such a rocky month. So now, I have my consolidation. Now I'm thinking, we're going to get that next leg up. to 80,000 to 100,000 to 150,000. And my accuracy is still good. Accuracy is still level. And my P&L curve is still a nice curve. So, and here you can see, I had a lot of red days. And now this month, these have disappeared. These huge panic red days of my stress of, starting going full time and new share size, it's a lot of new things contributing to a lot of stress. And I had a lot of big red days. Now that was all disappeared, and now I'm more consistent. My green days are way bigger than my average red days, and it's really coming along nicely. So that's it. And let's see what we got here. I don't think I checked this. Yeah, so my average daily gain, this is for my winners this month, $200. I only gave off about 190 off on my red days, and then so on my average daily gain, 203, average daily loss, 63. My accuracy is really, really good. My accuracy here is also really good, or decent. My average win and average loss is negative, and then even way more negative here. My hold time, still good. I don't really hold all that much. I am practicing holding a little bit longer, scaling out. I mean, I don't have to hold my entire position longer, but I do want to hold, just like a portion, maybe 25%, even 10% of a position, holding it for a couple minutes longer, or even a couple seconds, so it can make a big difference. And then here, obviously, my losers on my red days, I'm holding my losers too long, and that's that seems the theme in like everyone's red days is like they're holding their losers too too long. And yeah, so far, doing really well. So that's it. And if you guys are still watching at this point, damn, it's 27 minutes. If you're still watching at this point, thank you for watching till the end. I appreciate it so much. Do leave a thumbs up, and consider, if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. I do a video Monday through Friday, and I've been putting out also a video on the weekend sometimes about things that are kind of on my mind about trading and how maybe little tips or little strategies or what's been working for me, what's not been working for me. Kind of a good like a good talk, a good a strategic video, or something along those lines. Not something on the screens, something more of a vlog style or like a quick vlog video. I've been trying to do those on the weekends to kind of mix it up and not just have recaps. But this was my month in review for July, and so yeah, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week for Monday, the start of a new month. Super stoked. Have a good rest of your weekend, guys. Peace.